What's your mom like?
She works at Umbrella.
So where's your dad?
What's up? Tanky230 here. I hope everyone's having a great day. So welcome back to the monthly series, What Are You Playing This Month? Where I ask you what you'll be playing in the next 30 or so days. Happy New Year! Where has the year gone? It seems like only yesterday I was looking forward to Monster Hunter World and God of War getting released. Now I am 200 hours into the PC version of Monster Hunter World, and I finished up God of War a few months ago. Plus, there's also everything else in my backlog. But let's get started. Keep in mind, while I'm covering this now, some games could still get delayed.
I'm sure you beat me here.
I gotta say, the Resident Evil 2 remake looks amazing so far, and it's out on January 25th. While it was announced a little while ago that it was being made, it was great to see it in action a few months ago and have it revealed not too far off from its release date. The wait felt short and the anticipation is high. While I love the series, I was only a passenger back then when the original Resident Evil came out, as I watched Hy and Vincent play it. I still remember watching them beat the game to get the rocket launcher. I can't remember the criteria besides beating it in under 2 or 3 hours, no saves, and no first aid sprays. I think that was it. And they did it like every afternoon when they came home from school. And sometime later, the Resident Evil 2 demo arrived, and we spent our school afternoons again playing it as much as we could. And like the original, when the full release for Resident Evil 2 came out, I sat back and watched them play, but I didn't get to watch it all. I mostly remember the liquor crawling across the window, a bit of the intro, and a lab toward the end. This makes me a little hesitant on getting Resident Evil 2 because I feel like I'll be missing a lot of the callbacks from the original. Like, hey, this is different, or hey, I remember this room. But regardless, it does look sweet. I might not get it right away, but I think I will get it eventually. As I said, it's out January 25th.
Taste what a bittersweet. Oh my.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the third main entry in the popular JRPG series started in 2002 on the PlayStation 2. It's gained a huge following, and once 3 was announced, my friend who is really into this series stopped in his tracks when he heard about it. I for one have not played it. I'm sure the series is great. I've watched the full playthrough of the original. The crossovers with other Disney properties are awesome, but it's just not my thing. I can appreciate it though. Don't hate me. In this entry, and I quote from the Game Pressure, we witnessed the final face-off between Light and Dark, led by Master Xehanort. I think that's how you pronounce it. While the visuals have been significantly enhanced, Kingdom Hearts 3 employs the mechanics and fighting system known from its predecessors. During the real-time battles, we can count on the support from our 2 allies, each with a unique set of skills. It's out on the 29th, and I'm sure my friend has requested vacation for it already. One of Squawker's favorite series, I can't believe we're talking about Tropico VI right now. I've watched his videos on the Tropico series, and I can see the appeal. I distinctly remember a storm heading toward his island and just demolishing some buildings, plus those awesome speeches after elections. Again, quoting the text from GamePressure.com, one of the novelties delivered by Tropico VI is the fact that the action of the game no longer takes place on a single island. Instead, the country is spread between multiple islands, all of which have to be managed by the player at the same time. The islands can be connected by bridges and tunnels. The game also features agents who could be dispatched to various corners of the world to not entirely legally obtain blueprints for certain structures, such as the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower. During a speech, a player can make populistic promises. It's out on the 25th. Onimusha Warlords is, quoting Game Pressure, a remastered edition of the first installment of the Onimusha series from 2001. The production, which combines the features of a hack-and-slash and survival horror, takes us to 16th century Japan and aims to save the kidnapped princess from the hands of the cunning warlord Oda Nobunaga and his army of demonic servants. This is another game I was on the passenger side by, as I watched Hy play a few hours of it. Honestly, I don't remember much, and simply speaking, we remembered it back then as Resident Evil but with demonic enemies, just as we described Dino Crisis as Resident Evil but with dinosaurs. Of course, each of those games did feel like they stood well on their own, and while we might not be seeing a brand new Onimusha, Onimusha Warlords might be the next best thing. It's out on the 15th.
10 seconds until the united attack of the arsenal bird.
I think the only Ace Combat game I played was the original and 4. It's really cool to see the series just keep going. I remember my ass getting kicked a lot. I didn't play enough to get used to the flow of the gameplay. According to Game Pressure, though, and I quote, "The gameplay is mostly arcade with only a few simulations features. Due to that, realism has to move over and make space for dynamic and eye-catching sky fights, including battles with powerful bosses. Each available plane flies slightly differently, resulting in a more varied experience. Ace Combat 7 offers a story campaign for one player and multiplayer mode. Developers made use of the Unreal Engine 4 and also added support of PlayStation VR goggles. I'm still on the fence about VR, but man, I'm tempted to get PSVR just for this. It's out on the 18th.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes.
No More Heroes and Travis Touchdown, the only game I know that has you taking a dump as the game saves. I enjoyed the heck out of No More Heroes when it first came out on the Wii. It was definitely weird, it had style, and it felt unique when the Wiimote waggle was a thing. I had some issues with the frame rate during cutscenes, and I think during some gameplay, but enemy fodder fights, along with each boss fight, was really fun. Definitely flawed, but still enjoyable. The sequel, Desperate Struggle, I thought was just as well made. Frankly, I don't remember too much, but I do remember feeling that the gameplay was improved. I thought I'd never see Travis Touchdown ever again in his own game, but I'm glad to see that he's still alive and kicking. It's out on the 18th. Alright, so we end with a couple of indie games. I've never played Sunless Sea, Sunless Skies' predecessor, but from what I hear, it can feel lonely, and death seems to be around every corner in a gothic universe known as Fallen London. And apparently you can also lose your mind and eat your crew. That's dark. In Sunless Skies, the same holds true, except this time, of course, you'll take to the skies in a steampunk Fallen London. From the description, storytelling is in depth, and you upgrade your steam locomotive, fight pirates and sky abominations, and discover. There's a lot more, and the game looks to have a lot of layers. It actually makes me want to play Sunless Sea right now as the Steam Winter Sale ends. Sunless Skies is out on the 31st, but it's still in early access until then. And lastly, but not leastly, we have Vane. According to the game's description, you play as a boy who has special abilities, as you will see in this trailer, as he explores an extraordinary world and discovers its secrets. It looks visually stunning and resembles Shadow of the Colossus, at least to me, with its open, desolate expanses. Which makes sense because the studio, Friend and Foe, is founded by the co-creators of games like The Last Guardian, along with Bionic Commando, Battlefield 3, and Killzone. This looks like it could be amazing. It's out on the 15th. As for me, I gotta hop back on Spider-Man's DLC, Silver Lining, finish up Gris, as well as Red Dead Redemption 2. Plus I have an overdue video collab that will be coming late, but hopefully not too late, forgive me Squawker. So with all that behind us, let me turn my head toward you all and ask, what are you playing this month? That's gonna be it for this episode. A list of games is down in the description below. It's not a full list, but most. As always, some games could still get delayed. So if you all made it this far, thanks for watching, and as always, take care, and Tenku230 out. Alright y'all, game on everybody, keep smiling, thanks for the support, and I'll see you next month.